You won't believe what happened next. Suddenly, SWAT officers appeared like in a movie, immediately firing at old Max. Neo scared out of the bathroom. Suddenly, a loud explosion behind him knocked Neo unconscious. Waking, he found himself on a therapist's couch, wondering, is this an unwanted Netflix drama? The doctor said it was just a nightmare. That evening, Neo drank from the rooftop, seeking clues in his sorry memories, but drank his inspiration away. Just when Neo was in despair, a woman suddenly yanked him back, bringing him sharply back to reality. She told Neo to follow her if he wanted the truth, leading him through a door to a dark cinema. A movie night? Seeing old Max yelling, Neo woke up from his dream, realizing last night was real. Old Max then pulled out 2 pills, turning it into a pill-choosing game. If he picked the blue pill, it would all be a dream, continuing as his deputy in the virtual world. If he took the red pill, he could unveil the truth and see what the real world was like. No pressure, just look at your reflection. This time, he boldly chose the red pill, and just then, the operator noticed the Matrix world was off. Suddenly, a pair of heavily armed SWAT officers charged in. Everyone fought back while crossing the road, like it was just another day on the way to the Tokyo. The passengers on the train were instantly controlled by the Matrix, charging at them like zombies. After a fierce battle, they finally came to a mirror, which turned out to be the exit to the real world. Neo hesitantly reached in, only to find himself transported to a completely different world. He struggled to get up from a container and pulled out a straw from his mouth. Was this some sort of fresh juice experience? Looking around, he found another huge container opposite the mirror. Indeed, it was juice. He tried to rise to investigate, but his knife was useless. A robot grabbed him and swiftly cut all connections. The complex links didn't even give him time to process when another robot appeared, dunking him back in the container for a little bit before preparing to whisk him away. Just then, Neo saw the catalyst in the other container and shouted at the top of his lungs, but it was like yelling at his clueless neighbor. A horde of robots came rushing in, but the 2 robots just chilled to the side, waiting for the chaos to settle before continuing on their merry way. Soon after, they slipped out the door, avoiding godlike mischievous kids, finally getting Neo on the spaceship, but his condition wasn't looking good at all. Before long, Neo was unconscious. The crew quickly transferred him to a smaller Matrix to talk about emergency rescue. With a whoosh, he instantly landed in a fighting arena, like being thrown into a live-action Mortal Kombat. Meanwhile, old Max showed up too. Time was of the essence, and after changing into his gear, he wasted no time and started training. Since Neo had been trapped in the Matrix for years, he couldn't adapt quickly, and Neo even coughed up some blood in reality, and to help him recover quickly, old Max showed no mercy. As Neo began to find his footing, old Max ramped up the intensity, delivering punches like a boss during this no-time-to-breathe training session. After intense training, Neo regained his memories. Waking from the Matrix, he touched his head socket and thought, mini drill upgrade needed. Looking at his comrades, Neo sighed. The flowers bloomed the same year after year, but people changed. Then Captain White introduced the other crew members, and Neo was taken aback to find 2 little robots on board. Getting cozy with Captain White informed Neo that it was indeed these 2 little creatures who had saved him. Neo found it hard to believe that he was experiencing such intimate encounters with robots. It was truly akin to an epic robotic rendezvous. Once a dream, now a reality. Plus, seeing old Max particle form in the real world shocked Neo. He looked like a jigsaw puzzle made of tiny metal balls. This new technology allowed Chengdu from the Matrix to enter reality. After shaking hands, Neo marveled at technology's wonders. Then everyone led Neo through a holographic wall back to the new human base EO. Waiting for them was Neo's old acquaintance, Yob, now the leader of EO, and also old Max's ex-girlfriend from way back. She stared at Neo in disbelief, exclaiming that after 60 years, he looked almost the same, while she had transformed into an elderly lady. Then she took Neo to the base's garden, recommending a century-old fruit, reminding him of the classic expired fruit jug. This was a synthetic strawberry cultivated using Matrix code and human reverse engineering of genes. And not only that, the entire EO base was built by them and the robots together. Talk about teamwork. Soon after Neo left, robots had an internal conflict due to lack of energy. Talk about shooting themselves in the foot. Soon after, a new force arose within the robots, while the Zion base remained unfazed, continuing to believe in the peace Neo had brought under old Max's leadership. Looking at the statue, Neo couldn't help but reminisce about his old friends, feeling a tidal wave of emotions like flipping through an old photo album. Neo then made a request to Niobe, asking her to help rescue the catalyst still trapped in the robot's headquarters. However, Niobe refused, concerned that such an act could endanger the entire human base. This may have been her polite rejection, but as EO's leader, she had to handle things this way. When Captain White discreetly took Neo out, Neo made no effort to stop them, almost like a conflicted barrister, busy mixing various emotions. The group sailed to a remote area to enter the Matrix for the catalyst. After confirming safety, they felt at ease to proceed. Following the operator's instructions, the companions closed the high gate only to reopen it, instantly connecting to an abandoned building. This was the closest to their target with minimal antivirus software around it, definitely a prime location for a speedrun. Just as everyone was gearing up to blitz through the building to rescue the catalyst, the strongest virus in the Matrix, Smith, showed up. They didn't expect the once imposing Black old boss to have fallen to the level of a beggar. This was all Neo's doing, and with a command from Black Boss, a huge battle was about to erupt. Captain White charged at Smith, firing wildly, but every bullet missed. The group fell into chaos as Smith took the opportunity to push Neo down. In the tight space, Smith unleashed a barrage of punches and kicks on Neo, making him feel like a piece of tin and utterly defenseless. Hey, have you subscribed to my channel yet? Come join me as we explore these wild virtual adventures together.